the saddest part about this is, and I can't harp on this enough, is it's not fair. And you can say what you want about Colorado. This has nothing to do with them. This has everything to do with Travis Hunter. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you having a great start to your week. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. Man, oh man, we got a jam-packed one to get into tonight. We got not one, not two, but 3 topics to get into, and you can make a legit case and argument for all of them being the main one. 2 of our topics are questions I've been thinking about and I've seen a lot of people talking about. One of those being, is Nebraska legit, or is Nebraska back? Although they lost, there's a serious conversation around that. Our other topic we're going to get into that's a question: does Notre Dame still have a shot of making the playoff? And last but not least, the more I think about it, I would say this is the main one. We got an interesting situation involving Travis Hunter. I've been paying attention to this the past couple of days, and I'll just come out and say right now, I don't think it's fair, and I don't like it. So I'm going to speak on it, and I'm going to give my 2 cents, and I'm curious. Let me know in the comment section what you think about it. I'm excited to get into all this. Hope you are as well. Strap in, buckle up, get you a snack, get you a popcorn, get your favorite meal you like to eat when you watch a video, because trust me, I do the same thing. But all right, Matt, blah, 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 shut the crap up. Now without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, first things first. I say we start off with Nebraska and what's going on there. As we all know, the past several years, Nebraska has been a laughingstock, and nobody has laughed at them more than me, myself, and I. Nebraska hasn't been a great program, and I feel like I always say this when I talk about them. I have so much respect for the fan base because even though they've been struggling, they still sell out every single game. However, with that being said, heading into this season, there was a lot of hype and expectations. Matt Rule, he seemed a little bit more comfortable. It's no longer his first year, and you got the very prestigious 5-star quarterback, Dylan Ravioli. If you've been keeping up with Nebraska football the past couple of years, you would know their biggest problem has been the quarterback position. Their defense has always been pretty solid. It's just they can't score any points. Well, now you got the quarterback. And it appears to seem that made all the difference in the world because they started out 3-0 and demolished Colorado. Everybody's feeling great about them. They beat Northern Iowa and they had a top 25 matchup with another 3-0 team, Illinois. Nebraska did wind up losing this game at home in overtime. There were some mistakes made at the end, but we're not here to talk about all that. And even though you lost, and I know Nebraska fans aren't going to take a moral victory in that, Illinois is a really solid ball club. My point is, it's not some embarrassing loss. You didn't lose to some FCS school. You didn't lose to Rutgers or Purdue, a team like that. Here's a million-dollar question, though. Is Nebraska back? And when I say back, I don't mean back to winning national championships. I just mean back to competing with some big boys and going 10-2, 9-3, 11-1, a record like that. Is this a serious team, or more importantly, a serious program we should be paying attention to? To me, here's the really interesting thing about that. If they were in the SEC, I'd say, no, not even close. They'd probably win maybe at max 7, and this would be best case scenario 8 games. But since you're in the sorry and sucky Big Ten, yeah, there's a great shot you can still win 10 games this year, and moving forward, I don't see why they couldn't win 10 games per year. The Big Ten's just not very good. Look at their next 3 games. Purdue, Rutgers, and Indiana. I mean, come on, man. What are we doing? Then you got Ohio State, but still after that one, you got UCLA. It's a really fascinating conversation because do I think Nebraska is a legit top 10 team for many years to come? No, not really, but when you take a look at their schedule, there are some possibilities and chances they could wind up being a top 10 team these next couple of years. From top to bottom, they're going to be better than 9 out of the 12 teams they play every single year. Just because you're better, it doesn't always mean you're going to win the game, but y'all get what I'm saying. The Big Ten's just not very good. So to answer the question, is Nebraska back to being a legit team? I don't know. I really don't, and it comes down to this. I need to see a little bit more, but that's just me. Let me know in the comments what you think. I would love to talk about that some more, but moving along here to our second topic, we got Notre Dame. Ah, yes, good old Notre Dame. This is a team that everybody's just completely forgotten about. They've written them off, and it's for good reason. Nobody's talking about Notre Dame. They're irrelevant. They lost to Northern Illinois. I get it. I mean, heck, the last time I talked about them was after the game, and ever since then, I'm like, yep, there's no need to talk about these guys anymore. They're just chumps. And I thought that was the case up until I remembered this isn't a 14 playoff anymore, partner. It's 12 teams. Obviously, if we still had the 14 playoff format, there's not a chance in the world they make it. But since 12 teams are getting in, and Notre Dame doesn't have the toughest schedule in the world, is there still a chance they can make it? Let's take a look at their schedule. By the way, this weekend, they got a big game against top 15 ranked Louisville. After that, Stanford, not very good. Georgia Tech, not very good. Navy, I don't know, maybe. You need to watch out for Navy. They've been looking solid the past couple of weeks. Florida State, not good. Virginia, not good. Army, similar to Navy. And then you got USC at the end. We all know this. If they lose another game, they're done. There's no shot they get in. So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, for the sake of this video, they win out. Well, for me, I don't think it's just going to be good enough for Notre Dame to win out. For example, if you beat Louisville by a field goal and you beat, let's say, USC, who's still ranked at the time, by 7 points or even 10 points, I don't think that's going to be enough. It's going to come down to two big factors. You need to win, but not just win. You need to win impressively. You need to go out there and dominate Louisville and beat them by 20-plus points. And then after that, here's the other variable that they can't control, and they've done this to themselves. They've dug their own grave, is after you beat Louisville, you need them to win out and win all their games, or at least have a good record. Florida State's obviously not going to sniff the top 25, and that's going to hurt them, in my opinion. You needed Florida State to be really good, but let's say they win out. Louisville turns out to be some 9-3, 10-2 team. They're a fringe top 25 team, and you got USC at the end. Let's say USC's in the top 10, similar to the Louisville game. I think you got to win by 15, 20 points. But for me, even if they win out, they dominate USC, they dominate Louisville, it's not enough. I just can't overlook losing to a team like Northern Illinois. I can't. If you can't line up and just run over a team like Northern Illinois, no disrespect, you're not a top 12 team, in my opinion. Maybe some of you think otherwise, but even if Notre Dame wins out, I don't got to make it in the playoff. And here's the kicker with that. Them winning out isn't even a guaranteed. As where it stands right now, I think USC is better than them, so that's not a guaranteed win. I'm not going to give you my preview or prediction on the Louisville game because we're going to do that tomorrow. Many more things I could say there, but moving along to the main top of the main encore, main reason you probably clicked on this video. What in the world is going on with Travis Hunter? Whew! Man, oh man, like they say, mama there goes that man. He is unreal. Every time you turn on a Colorado game, he's everywhere. Offense, defense, he just makes plays. What's that old saying? Big time players make big time plays. Well, it may sound kind of corny, but that's the truth. Travis Hunter is a big time player, but he is still somehow, some way one-upping himself from the previous week. I've been watching college football my entire life, and I don't know if I've ever seen anything quite like it. Normally when you have a receiver or a defensive back, sometimes they can get lost in things. They can get lost in the mix, and they don't always get the ball, and they're always not making plays. And it's not necessarily because they're having a bad game. It's just because that's how the game goes. A lot of times if they're playing on defense, the ball's not being thrown their way just out of pure respect. And if they're on offense, the quarterback can't get in the ball because he's being doubled and triple teamed. But even with that happening, he is still what I label as getting his. He's still making plays on defense, and he's still making plays on offense. It's remarkable. And that's one thing I think most of your casual fans don't even consider, is he's being doubled and triple teamed on offense. Just because there's not two guys visibly in front of him when they snap the ball, it doesn't mean he's not being double teamed. They got a guy over the top. They also got another guy hedging them inside or outside. There's just a lot of aspects to it. He also had the game-winning forced fumble against Baylor that won Colorado the game. I could sit up here and go on and on ranting and raving about him. You don't need me to. You know he's special. And as to where it stands right now, I personally believe he is one of, if not the best players in all of college football right now. And I think we can all agree on that. If I were to ask you, every single one of you watching this video, do you think Travis Hunter is one of the best players in the nation? You'd all say yes. You may not think he's the best, but you know he is one of the best. I think we're on the same boat. However, with that being said, there's something going on with him that I don't think it's fair. Unless I am highly misinformed, being sarcastic, the Heisman Trophy is supposed to go to the best player in college football. It's not supposed to go to the best player on the best team. It is supposed to go to the best player, period, the end. Here's an interesting fact for you. Believe it or not, when it comes to the current odds for winning the Heisman Trophy, Travis Hunter is nowhere to be found. He's not in the top 3. He's not in the top 5. He's somewhere around like 9th or 10th, depending on where you look. But I looked everywhere because I couldn't believe it when I was looking at some of these websites. He's not even in the top 5 on any of them. I'll just show you this one I'm randomly looking at right now, but they all look something like this. These are all the players listed above Travis Hunter. Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Jalen Milroe, Nico Iamaleava, Dylan Gabriel, Quinn Ewers, and Carson Beck. Let me ask you a question. What in the world has Nico, Dylan Gabriel, Quinn Ewers, and Carson Beck done to prove to you they are better than Travis Hunter? Heck, man, Quinn Ewers ain't even played in the past couple of games. The top 3 guys, there's an argument. Cam Ward, Jackson, RJ Milroe, you can argue and say, yeah, they look like the best player in the nation. You can put them right there with Travis Hunter. But the other 4 guys, Nico, Gabriel, Quinn Ewers, and Carson Beck, heck no, man. And I'm not even making this video because he's not in the top 3. My problem is he's as far down as 8, 9, and 10. Why is he that far down? You mean to tell me you don't believe Travis Hunter is one of the top 3 to 5 players in the nation? Come on, man. And I know some people may try to argue and say, well, Matt, these are just the current odds. It doesn't mean that's how it's going to finish at the end of the season. And I thought some of you might bring that up in the comment section. It's a great point. Let's talk about it. What's even worse about this, as the season continues to progress and Colorado loses more games because that's going to happen, he's just going to fall completely off the radar, which to me doesn't make any sense because yet again, the Heisman Trophy is supposed to go to the best player. Your team's record, it shouldn't matter. Although I say it shouldn't matter, we all know if you've been watching college football, it matters. For example, Devontae Smith, wide receiver from Alabama, the only way he was even going to sniff winning the Heisman Trophy, and he won it, major congratulations to him, he was unreal Alabama, but the only way he was going to sniff that Heisman Trophy is if Alabama was competing for a championship. Do you honestly believe Devontae Smith would have won that Heisman Trophy if Bama would have finished 9-3? Heck no. And we all know Colorado ain't finishing no 9-3. That ain't going to happen. But where I'm going with this is when that presentation at the end of the year is announced, Travis Hunter has 0 shot of winning it, and I don't like that. The saddest part about this is, and I can't harp on this enough, is it's not fair. And you can say what you want about Colorado. This has nothing to do with them. This has everything to do with Travis Hunter. If Travis Hunter was playing on Texas, Alabama, Georgia, or Ohio State, he would be number 1 on this list, and it wouldn't even be close. But since he's playing on Colorado, and it's not a very good team, it's like, oh yeah, well, there's no reason to put him up there. Like, what is the logic behind that? The record should have nothing to do with it. And I wouldn't have a problem if we changed the rules and said the Heisman Trophy goes to the best player on the best team. I wouldn't have a problem with that, but that's not how it is. It's just stated it goes to the best player in the nation. There's no record involved. And maybe it doesn't bother some of y'all. Maybe you think I'm getting too worked up. But it just doesn't sit right with me. As to where it stands right now, 1A, 1B for me is Cam Ward and Travis Hunter. Those have clearly been the best 2 players in the nation. They've done the most. I'd have Milroe right behind them because he's been playing pretty spectacular as well. And you could say the same thing for Jackson Dart, but Dart hasn't played anybody. At least Milroe would play Wisconsin. And this is a dark horse. I know he's not going to win it, but I like that running back from Boise State. He's really impressed me. But same thing there, since he's a running back for Boise State, he ain't going to win the Heisman Trophy. It sucks. That's all there is to it. But like we say on this channel, it is what it is. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts down below about that.